The following program was provided by a valued member of our local community. Rogers TV is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit our website.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to You Can Paint Too. I'm your host, Matt Watkinson, and today I have another painting I'd like to show you how to do. It's a little sort of pond scene, I guess you'd say, and it's just a lot of fun and really pretty. So let's just dive right into it and I'll show you what I got going on here. This is just a 16 by 20 canvas, and I've done a little design down here with some black acrylic, as you can see. And then over top of all of it, I've put a layer of linseed oil. And over top of the linseed oil, on this half where it was dark, I put a sort of alizarin crimson and blue and black mixed together to get a sort of purpley color. And then up here is just titanium white spread over the linseed oil. So with that, we can start, and I'm gonna go right into a little bit of this. I made a little mixture of phthalo blue and black. And I'm just gonna go right up here into the sky, the top part where I want it to be the darkest, and just start Xing some of that in here like so. Again, this part we're not really that worried about it being perfect by any stretch. And in fact, for me, that's about good there. The black and Prussian blue, or phthalo blue, are super, super strong. I'm gonna put my palette down here really quick so I can wash all the excess crap or wipe it off of this brush here. I'm gonna go right over to a nice clean brush, and like I said, we're just gonna now just blend these all together, get all the brush strokes out if we can. And in skies, the farthest part up is always the darkest. Towards the horizon, it gets lighter, so just keep working this downward like so. So you got most of your brush strokes basically gone. And that's about good for what we're trying to do. Now, I'm gonna find my fan brush, it's right here. Pick up my palette again. I'm gonna go right into some titanium white, just pure titanium white. If you wanted, you could add at least a little bit of crimson to it. Oh, I'll show you. Just make it look a little bit warm. And then up here, I'm gonna just put in a little cloud, a little pink, glowing little kind of cloud. And he goes up here, right off into the distance. And that's fine, we can keep that there like that. Just sort of connect him down here like so. I think in that side I'm just gonna leave how it is. So now I'm gonna take a nice clean, if I can find it, 1-inch brush right here. And we're just gonna go in and dust the bottom of these, just like how we do with our cloud. Just start bringing the color in, and I'm swirling back and forth like this. And I'm just bringing the color down. And it makes it look like all types of little things are happening inside of your cloud. If you just tried to blend this side to side, it'd just look like a pile of white. But I don't know if you can see these little tiny parts where the value is a little bit different in there. That's what we want. So just do it lightly. Now that you have that all done, I'm gonna take my little duster brush, and I'm just gonna caress these up a little bit. Make them look super, super soft. See? Easy. A nice little sky. Over here, I'm gonna actually take, the creature on the back here, grab my palette knife. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the white off. Sometimes there's little clouds that float in the sky, just little straight little thingies. way far back. With him, you can dust it out, soften them. There we go. And just like that, we're in business with a little sky. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit, if I can find it. I'm going to take that brush I was doing the sky with, why not? And over here, looks like I got a little bit of phthalo blue still and some of this black, a little alizarin crimson. I'm going to come over here, if I can show you guys. I'm just getting a lot of color on the brush. And I want to go in and start reestablishing some of these tree shapes that I put in. So to do that, I'm literally just going to tap in some of this dark color here, just like so. We don't have to make this very crazy at all. We just want a little bit of dark color in there. This side and there. I'm using the corner of the brush just to give some of these kind of a rounded shape. Make them darker there in the back though. Take some of the same color. Maybe something pokes up right there. And that's all that we can really see. Clean up the brush. The rest of the color down there. Extend it a little bit more. Okay. Now, let's put you down. I'm going to leave that brush with the dark color on it in case we need it later. I'm going to go over here. I'm actually going to get out a little bit of sap green. 1 second. Put some of that sap green on the old palette there, and maybe even a little bit more black. I'm running out of black. I have a very big palette over here, so I always kind of have to just sort of make do. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, a little bit of this black here. I want to make a very, very dark green. You can even take some of the color that we were just using over there. A little bit of yellow ochre even. Why not? Like I said though, we just want a very, very, very dark green. Even darker. We got to get it way darker than this. Something about around there. Darker and a little cooler. See? Feel like that. You can see really how dark it is compared to this yellow up here. So now I have some on my brush. Maybe a little bit more yellow. I'm going to go in and just start picking out where I think that some of these are shadows, leaves that I'm painting on these trees. I'm just going to go in and just start picking out little clumps like that. And they might not fully show here on television that well, but these are, like I said, they're shadows. So we don't want them to stick out too much. When we go on these and put on highlights after all this is going to make a lot more sense. In the meantime, like I said, just pick out where you think little trees and clumps of leaves would live. Right here, maybe up here on this top side. Make the tops of all your trees though, be sure to make them nice and green on the outside. Okay. Over to our other tree over here. Give him a couple. And what I'm doing here is I'm making these in little clumps, as you can see. And when I start here on one, like let's say I'm starting this clump, that's going to be the lightest point because that deposited the most paint. And as I just sort of tap away from where I imagine the light source coming from. So the brightest part's there, and then the light's dissipating as it goes down from over here. up here. Some light hitting the top of those little fellas. Down there as well. And why not have some up here? Okay. This little area right here. All right. So now you have a little bit of highlight. Now we're gonna go over to here, back into the yellows. We wanna lighten this one up a lot. So I'm gonna take some of this yellow ochre and light red color over here. I'm gonna go into some white and really make it bright. I wanna make this a little bit more green though. Oh yeah, there it is. That's really nice. Now you can see where we mixed our shadow color, and now our highlight above that is quite a lot darker. We could still go even higher if we want, but for now, let's just work with this and drop in some little highlights. Now we've already made these shapes here. We've established these shapes of these sort of clumps down here. So now we can go back in and we can accent them. And on the very tops of where you, like I said, where you imagine light hitting the most, same technique. Just go right above that and tap down. See? Gives it a bit of shape. Back into the light color again. Maybe right here. There's some light hitting these little bushes and shrubs. This one too. Like I said before, trees, they seem to grow in this kind of, the canopies of the trees, they seem to grow in this upside down V type of shape, or I guess that would be an A. Right up here. Some of these make these ones out here in the sun a lot brighter. Back into a little bit more of the green. There we go. Light color. There we go. Yes. A couple little guys down here getting some extra sun. Okay. Now, back to the other side. Let's make this tree have a slightly different sort of color to him. Maybe a bit red. So I'm gonna come over here, same thing. And I'm just imagining where light's hitting and letting it get quieter as it gets farther away. Making it a first initial. See that one? Put him in front of this guy. Give our tree a bit of shape. These ones are really bright, hanging out there in the sun. No problem. Easy stuff. I'm literally just loading this brush up with paint, as you can see right down here, and I'm just, like I said, just tapping at the beginning, closest to the light. Put your brush down and let it get lighter and lighter and lighter as it goes down. Maybe a couple little guys hitting this little tucked away fella back here. And see, now that tree has a bit of a different, he's got a more of an orange feel to him. So let's makes him look neat. Put a little bit back in here. Now I'm gonna clean my brush off really quick. By really quick, I mean this sometimes takes a second. Want this one really clean because I'm going to be using it a lot for the rest of this. Grab my paper towel here, dry it off really well. Now then, I'm going to go into some white. Hopefully it doesn't get contaminated by any of these other colors. And a little bit of alizarin crimson. I want to make a nice sort of really pink color. There we go. Maybe I'll get it over a little bit more to the blue side actually. A little bit more crimson. Just want it to be that sort of light purpley, bluey pink color. I don't care if it's all mixed up, that's fine. Now, same with these little fellows over here. I want to go to the top, maybe get a little bit of linseed oil. 1 second. There we go. That's a lot better. Get it nice and right again. Get a little bit of linseed oil and then just come back down and same thing that we just did. Imagine where the light's hitting and just let these things sort of dance down from there. And now this looks like a sort of, I don't know, a little lilac bush or something hanging out over here. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna clean the brush. Maybe I should a little bit. No. We'll just go here with some of this blue. And I'm just gonna leave all these colors on my brush. Now watch this. If we want some water in this photo, or in this painting, let's go right up here and watch this. Across, down. Just like that, we have an instant little waterfall. I mix a little bit of the blue and the white, and when the white hits this, it's gonna mix with the layer of purple that we put underneath here, and that's why you get those nice little shadows underneath that waterfall. From there, I'm gonna take just the end of this brush and just sprinkle in where the water would be splashing up. And then at the bottom, I'm just gonna take this little makeup brush, one of my favorite brushes, and just blend it all right there. From there, I'm gonna make a bit more of this pinkish blue color. I want it to be darker though, because we're getting a little bit away from the light. And just, wow, that one looks super nice. Make it look like these sort of flowers, whatever they are, just cascade down here, down into the waterfall here. This one I'll make a little bit more to the blue side. Watch this. Oh, that looks nice. Darker over here, like I said, away from the light, gets darker. Maybe there's a couple little fellows hanging out in there. It just looks like a little sort of flowery waterfall. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go now. I'm just gonna start making some more. Let's go over here, get some blue, more of this red, make it a lot darker. Keep getting progressively darker as we go away from this. Maybe this one I'll actually make a bit blue, since that last one was quite see? And we're just doing this in little layers. Coming back, see, watch now this one. He's in front of him. We can make some on this side too. He's really bright. He looks like he's getting a lot of sun over here. And for now, that's pretty good. Let's start to figure out where we want to have our water. So for that, I'm gonna take another brush here. It doesn't have as much paint on it. And we're gonna go right here. You figure out where you want your water to be, but just when you find out, put a little bit of white on your brush, pull down, make it look like a little stream here. And then just lightly across, just swish them up a bit. There we go, that's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna take a alizarin crimson and some sap green, mix them together. Red and green will make brown. So I'm gonna take that nice brown. I'm actually a little bit of black to it too. I'm gonna come down here I'm just going to establish where maybe the land for this water lives. Down here. Just cover up, or a place wherever you think that there's going to be land. Anywhere you think. All right. I'm going to go, excuse me, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to go into these yellows. And I've got a lot of white on this brush here, so I want to bring up the saturation to these again too. So I want to take these yellows, take a little bit of the green, something dark here, more green. Just want something, a darker kind of green. It needs to be way darker actually. So let's go back up here. Dark gray green. A little bit of blue in it, cool it down a bit. Now, same thing, we're just gonna go over here and figure out where some little other plants live. And I'm just imagining, like I said, where the light hits on them and doesn't. Super easy. There's one right there. Change up this guy's flavor a little bit too. Check this out. Make him a bit more of a sort of fall looking bush or something. And that's fine. Over here, give him a couple little highlights. I want to leave some of these big open spaces here in the back, make it look really dark. In the meantime, let's take, if I can find it, let's find, oh, my palette knife somehow fell over here. Grab that. We're gonna take black and just mix some of this into hopefully a bit of a gray color. Even darker is fine. Get a little bit of this brown mixture that we made. And now, that's probably pretty good. Everywhere that I went over here and made this brown fill in, I'm gonna go in and establish a bit of rocks. And I'm gonna try to make them brighter the closer they are to the light. And as they move away, they get darker and darker and darker. Let me fix these ones up a little bit. There we go. It's important to leave a little bit of space. I don't know if you can see, but it's important to leave a little bit of space in between these. It looks like little shadowy areas that are sort of just sticking in there. I'm gonna take a bit of the dark color that we used, actually, to make the land, and maybe a bit of saccharine. You can even go back and go over some of them if you want to tone them down a little bit. I want these ones back here to be a lot darker, so you just sprinkle a little bit of that color on there, puts them a bit more in shadow. Yep, same there, same there, same there. I'm gonna go back into the brown that I had, and I'm gonna, under here, just reestablish a bit of dark color under here, just so it looks like there's some shadows underneath these rocks. Sure, whatever you wanna call it. And then I'm gonna, from there, take some, just a little bit of, I'll grab a bit of white, gray, white, whatever, something light. And again, we just want to put in a little bit of a water line here. Not much, just a little something. Perfect. And now, that same light color, I'm just gonna go and just put a couple little sparklers here in the water. so that it looks like light is bouncing off of certain things down here. You take that brush, just dust these out just gently. Perfect. Same with these on the side. Just soften them all out. And with a little bit of time left here, I think that we can probably add an extra little tree in the foreground. Maybe this tree, maybe even just behind. We have a tree back there. We didn't see it before, but now we do. Maybe here's a couple. They go way tall. They go out of the shot entirely. Take some of that white and gray. Makes a sort of warm, cool gray color. Go back up here. Just touch the one side of it. Pull it off. Go back to our dark gray color. Maybe get a bit of blue in there. We make sure that it looks kind of cool. Cold, not cool. Well, cool too, but cool. And from there, if I can find my little script liner brush, it's right here. Gotta awkwardly reach around my easel, and we can take that black color, pull it really thin, like usual. And just make a few little branches and things that come off of our tree back here. From there, you can even too take, if I can find it, there's my knife, wipe it off. You can put these little details in here. You can take your knife and you can just scrape little sticks and things in here, in the shadow parts. Just looks like all types of things holding up these trees now, and limbs and all types of things. Down here holding up all these little flowers. Okay. Well, maybe I can just touch up this highlight here, or add a little tiny highlight to this tree, and I think that that is about a finished painting. This is the last painting of this short mini series, so I hope that you guys try this, and I hope that you enjoyed it. It's a super simple, easy painting to make, a little peaceful pond, and we'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Good news, Rogers customers. Disney Plus is now included in select TV plans at no additional cost. With Disney Plus, you can enjoy exclusive movies and shows like Andor.
They're building a weapon.
Welcome to the rebellion. Vanderpump Villa.
I've chosen this magnificent Italian castle.
And No Taste Like Home.
I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
Rogers Xfinity customers say activate Disney Plus into your voice remote to learn more.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
David Prang from the Chamber of Commerce, Brantford Brant, speaks with community